I'll pick about five. The first point is basically that the carbon dioxide, this gas that you breathe out, is actually increasing in the atmosphere of the Earth. The second one is that all that CO2 that's been rising is all caused by fossil fuel products, essentially all this combustion. I mean, from your driving your car, cooking your food, so on and so forth. And then the third point is, key tenet that one should challenge. Actually, I meant to tell you that I am wanting to challenge these 5 tenets in this interview, is that this thing causes global warming, and then nothing else matter, like the sun, ocean, wave, and so on and so forth. It's only the carbon dioxide. So it's basically one single variable driving the whole complex climate system. So that's one of them. And by the way, another point that I miss when I say CO2 is only fossil fuel, and then one cannot challenge it. That's another point. This is one of those problematic issues when you say that all the science is 100% settled and there's no room for asking simple questions. Okay? And then finally, one of the tenets is that that you can use this thing called the computer climate model simply because our human brains are not good enough to memorize all of this, ebbs and flow of the climate system, like the wind blowing left, blowing right, and so on and so forth, or the ice growing and melting, that sort of thing throughout the season. That you can use this computer climate model not to understand what causes the climate to change, but to try to tell you about what the climate will do in the next 10, 50, and 100 years, or even 1,000 years. Sometimes it's so ridiculous that these people are talking about 100,000 years ahead of us, using their so-called computer climate model. And the news is that all of these basic tenets and claims that is run by this, what we call CO2 dangerous anthropogenic global warming idea, is not a hypothesis simply because this has not been formulated as a scientific proposition. It's all just an assertion that cannot be challenged. So this is why, as a scientist, we have a really important duty to try to explain not only to ourselves, not only to the politician, not only to my wife and family and all that, but to explain especially for those who wanted to know the answer, including school children, including any lay public. I mean, Al Gore, please, I'd like to explain something to him if he wants to listen, and anybody who wants to know the truth. So it's nothing but the truth that we are going after. That's where the problem of this sort of I would say very strong assertion, in fact almost religious assertion, to say that no one can challenge this idea that rising carbon dioxide is going to warm the globe, and in a very strange way, by the way. It's strange in such a way that this warming is only going to cause something negative, meaning that all the problems, everything that you can link to a problem, like even more people staying in jail will be related to global warming. If you read stuff like Mark Moreno's book and compilation of all the bad stuff that can be caused by anthropogenic global warming. So this level of discussion has becoming so ridiculous that I think we really need to take a really big step back. So as a scientist, we constantly take a step back because every day we reevaluate what we think that is true. And then we try to check. And what do you mean by checking? Checking here now, according to the layman language, is that we require actual measurement, actual experimental evidence and data, they call it. In Australian, they call it data. I mean, those data people, they all love to have data because we need to have data to try to make a point. If you say the globe is warming, by all means, we must have the global temperature to show that the temperature is rising. By the way, it's not warming, so it's not actually showing that. So this is a problem now with all this sort of a hand-waving issue and all this, what you call top-down sort of approach from basically all these alarmists, this DAGW people, the dangerous anthropogenic global warming proponents, including Al Gore and all these Nobel Prizes winners, what have you. The only problem with all of that is that science do not respect who you are and what you are and all that. It's just what the facts are. Please give us the facts, and therefore we can proceed and try to understand what is going on. And all I've been trying to do all these years is just to try to understand what is going on.